Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL Round 5 Division 2. It is beautiful to be back on a Wednesday night. We have Awake from Hell up first on Killer versing Hella Flames Survivors. This is a Group A match, if I'm not mistaken, Lil Chief. I believe Hella Flame are 3-0 and Awake from Hell are 1-2. So this is pretty much just for Awake from Hell to get some, I guess, back in the mid-table. I think they might still be able to do something from this match, Chief. I'm not too sure, but either way, still be a good match. Result to finish out the round for the results wise. How are you, little Chief, big fella?
I'm doing good, man. This is only the second Lich set we've got to see. I don't know if we mentioned it was Lich, but we are seeing Lich on Grim Pantry tonight, with these two teams. But yeah, you were kind of right, Jom. So Awake from Hell will be able to either finish third or fourth off of this game, depending on the result. But Hell of Flame will be able to guarantee their spot first if they do take this match.
It's beautiful to hear as well. And again, playing for a bit of pride. Bit unfortunate. I'm assuming we will see Awake from Hell back next season. But yeah, I mean it should be good. Lich on the Grim Pantry, like you said, Chief. It should be a good setup and scrimming both the squads on the Lich, and both of them get pretty the same, like the same result. Pretty, the average I'd say around 10 stage. But yeah, no, I'm actually genuinely curious to see who will do better. I think we saw Dylan. I think Dylan played Lich last week, Awake from Hell's Killer. I think he had a bit of a down result, but I think they were scrimming pretty viciously this week, pretty violently. So I'm assuming he will have watched back the VOD, will run it back, and if they're able to even just get a win here, I'm sure it'll be good going long term for them, and maybe put a bit of a dent in Hella Flame, big fella.
Yeah, like you said, Jones, I guess there definitely will be a bit of pride for both sides in this, right? Obviously, Hella Flame really want to have that perfect record in the groups, head into finals 4-0, and obviously ending the season with a win, even if there isn't much to play for on the side of Away from Hell, is going to be something nice to have and be able to say leaving OSL. And hopefully they will return to us next season of Academy. But we are now in the match. We've seen the killer spawn on this edge one side, sending an orb towards our 5 region. We see, as standard on this map, a lot of gens of bottom jams. We have this mid-gen, a gen 8, 7, 6, 5, and this sort of 4 upper side of our catwalk here. And I think our survivors just opting to take it a bit slow, position themselves top so they can get on these gens before chase even begins, Jams, which is definitely stuff you'd like to see. And we've hopped on main. Very good positioning to start us off.
Yeah, I mean, at the shack, yeah, I'm assuming we're trying to find what I'm assuming is maybe like the person playing a little bit slower. I don't think Dylan knows that rain has already crossed. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it should be on main here if I'm not, and that should force Dylan to chase main. This is correct. This is what we like to see. I'm assuming Painkiller, the more veteran player, has got the game plan locked, pushing them always to go main. Those probably aren't the best skulls though, but we've entered the lock out of nowhere. That lock was a bit too close to the window, son. That is egregious after rain. But first tag coming out, I think that's going to actually let Dylan have the confidence to be able to commit this chase. I don't think we're going to be able to. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. Son, where are the checkies? We've just sent it, and we've gotten it down at main after using skulls, which is egregious, if you ask me.
Yeah, Jumps, I mean, that is really unfortunate from our Rain. It definitely does feel like he got a bit lost with the checkies there, unable to leave, unable to see the killer through main, and running into him. Definitely not the start you want to have on that chase on such a strong resource like main in Grim. And now this orb is very unfortunate as the survivors are very close by. We know that this top 8 gen in the pantry was active. If they don't know, it was double. All 3 survivors are here, Jumps. Now this is a bit interesting. I don't really know what the play is here. I guess we're trying to position someone for the save and get this progress as much as possible. Also, this mid-8 gen has progress as well, Jobs. I'm not too sure what the plan was here overall, because I guess we've identified this tight 3 gen 8 and 7, right? And we definitely wanted to get these gens out of the way for the first chase with it being on main. And as we can see, Jumps, the progress is still pumping away. We know that we are doubling this top 8 pantry gen now, and it's definitely going to pop before we see them go second. But the problem will be now is Lich is a very hard killer to save against with the skulls. He can get a very quick 2-tap on the hook onto a saving survivor, and he is also able to immediately hit through BT and potentially get a quick 2-tap onto the tunnel out. So I think we're going to opt to have a double save come in here onto this hill. But, I mean, this could be problems, Jumps, as he does go second, and we're opting to not pull, but we might have a down right on the hook into our progress gens as well, Charms.
Yeah, going seconds early there is terrible. I'll be completely honest. This is a good hook as well for Dylan to just be, holding territorial. He's, erupting gens around the hook. Erupt that at 8, erupting 7 now, mid 7, and yeah, I mean it's a bit rough for the survivors. This is definitely looking like 4K just for references. I don't think this should be even remotely close to 4K. I think this is definitely, it's high stages, maybe. It's definitely, I don't know, it's medium to high stages. The killer is very, counterable on this map. The map is not, I won't say it's the best for him, but it's really, something to work with. We do need to send the trade in here onto the bro after rain. We're just choosing the pick here, taking the painters. I actually don't hate this decision. We should turn around and use fly, catch up to after rain very shortly. We do. This is really beautifully played from us, Dylan. So you can definitely acknowledge the fact that he's been locked in on the scrims here. He's definitely had a VOD review or two because, no, he does look pretty solid right now. He needs to find after rain. Could we maybe have a geese where the bro is hiding? I think he is. It's back main here. I think he does here. I think he does. I think he's just trying to zone her out here. But no, this is a great start, Chief. Great start. 4 inches, 3 inches. Yeah, 4 inches, 3 inches on a hook. Beautiful.
Yeah, Jumps, absolutely. I mean, we've also noticed the unfortunate situation right now is that Artrain has had to run to main to last. Obviously a very strong resource, but it was our most progress gen. We're seeing 8 get pain res and erupted. We did have eruption aura on the survivor 8 earlier before when we did get the hook on the pain res. Those skulls barely missing after rain, and we don't have anything like balance of the sort, so we just have to play this out. We don't even get the opportunity jumps with the mage hand, so we're just going to be dead with 3 gens remaining on the board, 3 injures on the board. Main the only progress gen, maybe having progress towards something on 5 side now after the rotation, but Jumps, this is really, really not looking... Oh, we might be a bit lost in main. Hold on, Jumps. There's a potential we might... Jumps, he might wiggle. Oh my word, Jumps, he might... Oh, actually, he just makes the hook. That could have been game-changing, Jumps.
Now, imagine if he had not all 3 inches there. You could have sent someone in for a body block and you saw pain to the decals wasting. That's the problem you have, you could have called that early before he was fumbling. Maybe since, sprint burst could have made a play. It is unethical, but it could have happened. But, that is like you said, big man. 3 being 1 coming in at 3, and we're already catch up painkiller here. Does a nice job there to dodge these goals, but yeah, overall, I still think this is on the cards here. You still got 2 of the 3 most experienced. I mean, before they did the little rebrand, but yeah, no, this is definitely still outable here. I don't want to. Oh, big fella, we need to be careful here. That's probably a miscom. I don't think we commed. We were leaving there, but no, we need to dive far away from this gen. I don't know. Dylan's playing this beautifully. I have to admit, he's making them look a bit scrappy. You know what I mean? A bit weak, and that's just going to be the bro dead. You got to take care of the elevation, son. But no, Chief. Honestly, the synopsis of this game has just been kind of dominant for Dylan. I have to be brutally honest.
Oh, absolutely, Jumps. I mean, yeah, I don't think Dylan has put a foot wrong so far at all. Truly, I think nothing could have gone more his way than what we saw unfold. The position he's in right now is definitely really, really good, right? Obviously, we still have this main gen, which is relatively safe and easy to get out of the way. But, you have this gen towards 10, you have the gen 5, we're getting the unhook very quickly as we do see as I explain this, and we have decals ready to get back on main. Jumps, I guess the way this is looking right now is this could really easily still be outs, right? This comes down to, I guess, who we find next. If we do find Arsenal, it's going to be a little unfortunate as we know he is the head-on player and we've just run in. We do make the window off that, but if we'd be vaulting into the loving embrace of Dylan with the Shack pallet held, that's just another down with the eruption proccing on the 2 active gens. We know that our survivors were just sitting them. We can slug. We're gonna go check 5. We know that they have to leave it. There's not enough progress for it to pop. So, Jams, issues once again. We just have to play this chase out. Decals is sitting the gen in the background. He's playing for the win con, guessing he's there, accepting potentially a 4K2 at this point. Beautiful 50s. But Jams, oh my word, I thought that could have been a down there as well, but it is now after we lose that 50. A bit of an unfortunate vault, Jams, and we do get the pick in the background. Decals opting to leave the gen, accepting that a 4K3 result was not going to be good enough. Once again, Jams, problems. Really big problems, right?
Yeah, it seemed recoverable. It still is recoverable. You've got 2 healthy. The gens, I mean, the big major issue is you've got a bloke hooked on top of your most progress right here. But if I'm not mistaken, main, this gen that Decals is on, obviously the one that that Painkiller's hooked on. Oh wow, decently probed, if I'm not mistaken. So you do have potential here to get something going. You know, they say one good chase saves a game. I don't think that is, you know, that couldn't be truer here, to be completely honest. One good chase will send them probably down in the 4K1 direction, maybe even 4K0 if they're lucky enough. But someone is going to have to step up. It is going to have to be, looks like it's going to have to be Decal. No, we're not choosing to commit here. This hill hook is pretty egregious to have. We're just choosing to complete here. This is really good from Dylan. Using Fly on the way back, just conceding that he's going to trade now. And that's a cue for Azanal. We have to send the pull. This is sprint burst off the hook, so we're not even going to be able to make main with our BT here. I mean, the zone wasn't the greatest, I'll be completely honest, but we're going to have to juke the skulls. So we do juke the skulls. So we make main. This could be the good chase that we were seeking. We need to make this mid here. We don't line up the fast, which is a bit scary, but yeah, I mean, Chief, this has to be a good chase with Mage-Hand still active. You know, we have to win this. I think we do win this. That was kind of a bad Mage-Hand from Dylan. Maybe the first misplay I've seen, and the little micro swing. Yeah, this is going to be finally maybe the best chase we've seen, and we need to last a bit longer. The 50s are going to have to come out early, though, which is unfortunate. And the chase has ended before it has even started. How upsetting.
Yeah, and we found Decals just on this gen right next to main. We see the eruption aura on him. We know that this gen is the most progressed we have once again. We're just opting to slug. Actually, no, we're going to go back and pick, I believe... Oh, do we have a pain res? We do not have a pain res. Sorry, I was unable to spot that. I thought Painkiller might have been fresh and was able to pain res, which would have been beautiful just to have him pain res on that hill hook. But, I mean, that hook still is going to be absolutely incredible for Dylan, right? We're going to be able to hook on that hill right next to the most active gen. I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see a gen popping in the background. I actually think Decals is just right back on it. He was for a second. It's still not enough for it to pop jumps. We're just going to be able to basically sit here and patrol it. Now that we've stopped the regression as well from Decals, just get some pop on it and another stack of eruption as well. But yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see this 5-gen pop. We're not on 5. We have opted to start 6. Catched Arsenal on the gen. He does pop it though. Wow, that was a bit more progress than I was expecting to see from that gen. That was definitely well played to have rotated that early and spot that out, that this was a gen that they could work safely. And now we're right back on 5 as we do see Painkiller getting unhooked. I guess now it's just time for Painkiller to have the chase of his life, Jams.
I mean, if you last Shaq here, this is, you know, genuinely, Shaq Pellet. We've gone and run through for the BT. Now, need a bit of shush in the VC here from Painkiller's team. If we, like I said, if we do last, this is very achievable to get the 4K0 at the very minimum. That fast fault looked quite bizarre, but the Mage Hand and the skulls just putting you in situations that are, I don't know, it makes the 1v1 a bit tough, you know, I'll be completely honest. You know, I don't think Decals is going to pop this here. This is going to be another pop goes the Weasel on this gen as well. But Zanal has been sitting a gen in the background. That should be about 30-40 right now. As long as Decals can get away clean here and not, you know, get too tapped, one gen should pop here. One gen should pop. It would be an injustice if one gen didn't pop. And to be fair, the 3v1 has been played better than the 4v1 from Hella Flame, but it's just still not good enough in my opinion. It looks like Dylan has been really honed in, and yeah, like I said though, one gen should pop here. It doesn't matter. 4K1 result is beautiful to work with. I think his team will be wrapped with that.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know about you, Jumps. I know you were saying that you scrimmed both of these teams and you were getting the average of 10 stages, but I feel like even then, that is on the higher side of the results. We are having to check this 5-gen in the background, catching Hattie rotating towards 1 in time. And Dylan will, Dylan. Decals will most likely be getting back on that Gen 10 and just hoping this chase lasts, taking a tag to main now. But yeah, Jumps, I do think that 10 stages is a bit on the higher side for this killer. We're actually opting to leave chase and go back to this Gen Jumps. But yeah, no, I feel like this, especially on a map like Grim is a very strong survivor-sided map. I know the gens can be really, really difficult to work with, and I must say, the survivors here have had some really tough gens. These mid-gens have been absolutely insane for Dylan. They have been so easy to play around with this hill pain res, but this map is so strong. Despite all the elevation, the gens, all of that, it is really, really possible to out this from even a really bad start like we did see. I mean, there was still the real possibility that our survivors here were going to be able to bring it back and get stages from this, despite this going second and giving 2 tags, right? Now, the situation obviously looks like it's guaranteed to be a 4K1 at least, right? Could still be a 4K2 very easily, having to leave 10 start main. Decals actually might be back on 10. He is indeed on 10. Hattie just having to stealth around main, but we should see Decals now. We should know we're not going to allow this gen to pop for free. So, opting to leave that a bit early, get our distance as much as possible. Maybe kick it? We are going to kick it. Just going to have to chase Decals because... You know what, Jones? I think this is almost definitely a 4K1 now. I do really feel that this will be a 4K1.
Yeah, he's been biting himself in the foot a little bit by not committing. He made like a play where he went back to 3. I think the communication from HOF is better than that. I don't think Zanal would have got straight back on that gen. I think he would have been setting up for this gen right here that we've just flown past. And Decals Loki should be wrapping to the dockside gen because, you know, he can hold chase a bit longer, being, you know, healthy and all. But we're choosing to chase Zanal at main now, finally. Now, he's just going to last. We have to dodge the skulls. If he dodges, which we do, this should secure the 4K1, but we've been flushed. No, we do have a pellet here, though. It's not going to mean a whole lot. Zanal is going to be dead inside main. We've called the eruption. The problem is this gen is just not that high. I mean, it is high. Don't get me wrong. It's just not high in terms of, you know, getting done in, you know, in the nick of time. Yeah, it's not going to pop. It's not going to pop is the main thing. And 4K1 has gone to 4K2. I wouldn't even say it was a guaranteed 4K1. It wasn't, but you know, in the situation they're into progression, you'd expect a 4K1. But I think, honestly, Dylan just played very, very well and chose to commit the right chases. And honestly, being so brutally honest, right now they just look like the better team away from hell, which you wouldn't be able to decipher from the in-season standings. But no, they've got the job done here, at least on the killer side. That's 4K2, and you know, if you had good
Beautiful skulls.
If you had told me that Awake from Hell's killer would have 4K2 this morning when I woke up, I would have told you to shut up. Stop being ridiculous. Hella Flame better than that, but I didn't expect this from Dylan. This has been, I'll say, probably, and someone stop me if I'm wrong, probably the most impressive killer performance that I've seen, other than a potential 4K4 that didn't happen.
That shall not be spoken of.
Unfortunately, it shall not be spoken of. But no, I don't know. I think it's definitely, like I said, Chief, probably the best performance I've seen from any killer in this tournament so far, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I honestly absolutely agree. Like you said, other than the 4K4, which shall not be mentioned, I think that we didn't see Dylan put a foot wrong at all. I think this was such a good performance. This was a performance deserving of being in Division 1. You know, maybe we see a position for Dylan in another squad after this if his team is not to continue on and stick together, right? He's just proven in this match that he really has what it takes. And I feel like, you know, on a killer like Lich on a map like Grim, it really takes a lot of effort to be able to get a result like that. And I think that was something of the ages, Jumps. Truly, I think that was an all-timer performance for Div 2. We might be speaking about this with seasons to come. Be like, this was still up there. This is still one of the better performances we may ever see out of Div 2, right? But in saying that, I'm very curious to see what Hella Flame will have for us on the side of Killer, because I'm not too sure who it will be, Jumps. I don't know about you, but I am not too sure. But we do know, obviously, they are the top of their group. I think it will be after Rain, having just seen an invite come through, which is beautiful to see because I'm not too sure, Joms, if you've seen him play Killer previously, but he has been able to put in a shift. And it will be really, really interesting to see because obviously, like we were saying, Hell of Flame were the favorites, being 3-0 in their group, and Awake from Hell 1-2, looking like they could have even finished bottom of the group before their game against Phantom Step, right? It's not over till it's over. Despite the result feeling really untenable, can't say never.
Exactly right. You know, we've seen more egregious win cons been met in higher level games, of course. So to say that the killer for Hella Flame could not, potentially tie this would be an injustice, of course. But going back, I guess, just trying to decipher maybe the survivor's point of view, that heel hook, looking back, this is really, really unfavorable, I guess is the way you put it, unfavorable for them. And that bringing Pop, I was bringing Ruin during the scrimmages. I bring a Pop a few times, but I was predominantly bringing Ruin. I don't know, it just seemed like better shout to me. But no, definitely bring Pop as the play here, 100%. Especially if you're going to get that much value out of it. I think he genuinely, I think he had like 6 or 7 uses of Pop that game, which
I think it was the
yeah,
best perk he brought, Charms. Like, honestly.
of course, of course. I mean, using all pain resistors early as well, it kind of saved him in the 3v1. Like, are we wrong for saying that? I don't think we are.
No, 100%.
Eruption as well is always, eruption does its job, as it usually does. You love eruption in the back pocket, but amongst all that, Chief, I still think without Pop there, that still probably could have been, 4K 1-0. But
Oh,
the
definitely.
Pop really secured that, I think, bro. I will say, yeah, no, he's
I
definitely converted me from the ruin.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that 10 gen pops long before they make the 2v1 if he doesn't have pop. He was able to pop that gen 3 separate times. And also, I do want to talk about the amount of value he got from Eruption Aura. That game was incredible. Obviously, there was never really a position where he used the Eruption Aura to immediately enter chase, but he always knew where the survivors were. He had eyes on all 4 survivors because of Eruption Aura for maybe 30 to 40% of the game, Jones.
Yeah, and that's probably why Eruption is probably one of the most beloved perks these days on just fuck any killer that's medium to like low tier, even high tier. Like, you bring it on everything. Very meta. Yeah, very, very meta. No, yeah, regardless though, 4K2, the probability on this side of it happening for, I believe it's Mesta. Mesta's going to be playing killer here for Hella Flame. And honestly, I don't think I've seen too much of the bro. He must be really tapped in on the lich if they're entrusting him with the lichship, or they could be going for the, get the extra, get the brothers some playtime, get the extra lads in. Because realistically, this game doesn't mean anything for them. That is, I think, something we should keep, remind and mention. No matter what happens, Awake from Hell still will make the semis, even if they lose this match. Awake from Hell, on the other hand, I believe we said, Chief, their season is done. No matter what happens as a result of this match, so that's pretty upsetting. But you can only wonder. You really only wonder what if the Bros were performing like this. Awake from Hell, this is a bit early on because they definitely look like they should be up there just based off that killer performance alone. But if you read like the standings, like we said, it just doesn't reflect that. Yeah, I think we'll see him back next season. I'd hope you see him back next season. I think they're a pretty solidified team. I think they're probably, you know, Division 2, Season 2 probably would be one of the better teams if they remain together, keep scrimming during the off season. Because realistically, doesn't take Invictus to come in and throw together a good performance. If you've got mates, if you've got friends, people you trust, people you want to get into it with, anything's possible. I think even you yourself, Little Chief, probably the purest form of that. No.
I mean, I like to believe so, but more testament to that. The 2 top teams in either group, Nyx and Hell of Flame, are both teams that we know stuck together for a little bit, right? We saw them in season 4 of OSL, and they've relatively stayed the same since the very beginning of that season 4, playing all the way through. playing into Div 2 together, being the same right now to this very day, it goes to show what teams sticking together can really do. Because, Jumps, this is something we talk behind the scenes a lot about, how disappointed we get as an organization to see these young teams with a lot of potential play one season, not get the results they want to see, and then just disappear. Sometimes you see some of the players come back, and sometimes you don't see any of them, right? And it really sucks. It really does just suck, because OCE right now is in a position where it would be so incredible to have this constant influx of talent coming in, joining the scene, and improving and sticking together. We've had historic teams that have done that, the likes of Bleed Out, even Gospel, right, who played together for those years and grinded and worked to keep getting better and better. Some of them even working through our old system, like Div 2 and Div 3 even, right? And now we kind of just don't have that. So when we do get to see it with the likes of Nyx and the likes of Hella Flame, it's something we really want to support. And it goes to show, like I said, top of the table in their groups on both sides, that it might just be worth it for these younger players to stick it out.
Beautifully said. I couldn't agree much more, to be honest with you. Took the words out of my mouth. But, to reiterate what Little Chief, just elaborated on, if you're a young bunch of guys in the scene, young bunch of guys or girls, make the commitment. Why not? Why not? The worst that happens is, it doesn't work. And I promise you, there's been
Maybe
a
you get
lot of
4K
times.
5'd on the Freddy.
Yeah, maybe you get 4K 5'd on the Freddy and on OSL Twitch, and you get a bit of point and laugh at you. But other than that, you only get better. And it's good to see all the big boys in the scene getting active with the younger guys, the younger, more inexperienced blokes. It's wholesome. I will say that. I don't think the scene used to be like that. I think that's one thing we can all pat ourselves on the back for. Because these guys scrim. Also, before we load in, I do want to say I do like this pre-game fit from every single survivor we have here.
They are beautiful.
It is drip or drown season, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe we are dripping. But we are loading in 4K2. I don't know. It seems like an egregious result to me, but I'm not. Something in my stomach tells me that the bro just has it like that on Lich. Honestly though, Lil Chief, the synopsis for this game, run me through it. How do you even 4K2?
How do you 4K2? Well, Jams, I gotta be honest, it's a tough asking. A tough asking. This killer, the expected results when we did the balancing for this killer was around the 7-stage mark. A 4K2 was never in the picture with the balancing. Like, the survivors have exhaustions on a map like Grim against a Lich, right? It's tough. It's really tough to get a 4K. And to get a 4K with a gen remaining, even tougher. Now make that 2. This is gonna have to be... I mean, we saw what Dylan had to do. He played incredibly. He didn't put a foot wrong, and there was a position where it could have been a high 4K on a killer like Blight, where it could have still been outable. Mester is now entering Chase on Edge Map 1. A bit of an unlucky find for our survivors, but I mean, I guess this is exactly what you need. He's gonna take this tag all the way Edge 1, no resources to see. Gonna make main off the tag, actually. Very well played to be able to path around these Edge Map rocks and trees to just make a resource before getting downed. And now we do have main to play, knowing another survivor's here as well, Johns. Maybe even potentially playing with the chase. But, I mean, I guess, right, this is definitely the start you were looking to have. You want to head on. Now that is definitely going against what I just said, that is going to disrupt this chase a lot. We do see 2 survivors on gens. Are they doubling jumps?
I think they are. I think they might be doubling out of mid. No, they are not. It's just Deja and another separate gen. So 2 singular gens. Nice chase to begin ourselves off here. We're going to be seeing Anna go down on the pallet. Like I said, I was going to give credit to Anna. Probably my favorite drip of the night. I love the hat. I didn't know Gabe got a
I didn't either.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I might have to suss that out. But yeah, first look main, P-Res. Agitation as well on the builds.
Agitation ruined jumps. We don't have pop or eruption.
It's an interesting play style. I think he's backing himself in here to create so much pressure that they have to look for ruin on a map that's not really totem familiarized. You know, wouldn't not everyone would. If you know totems on Grim Pantry, you are a gamer. Like you are a
Hats off
genuine
to you,
gamer.
truly,
No,
because that's impressive.
you deserve some flowers, maybe a kiss, but if these boys are locked in like that, I mean, we see his ruin. I don't know if everyone peeped that, but it was actually down like sort of on that one side or on the 11 side. I apologize, like just in the back corner, top right of the map, behind main, which is pretty out of the way, pretty ordinary ruin totem to have, but I guess not the worst by any means. But no, we do see 2 generators popping. I think
The locker
the
again.
locker, no. And I know now this is where it actually gets a bit scary, Chief, because now it's low-key doable. I think we're checking for the head on here. I don't think anyone's in there. Not doesn't hurt to check, but yeah, I mean this is where it gets doable now, Chief, because that chase was like next to nothing, and you need to have a good chase here to off this next hook to secure this 4K too. We're just doubling as well, or they're getting anxious, I reckon.
Jums, you're right? That was definitely the chase we needed to have to be able to secure a 4K2 or a 4K3. But, oh my god, we've just gotten a random tag with the skulls? Sorry, excuse me? Where was this ace to have just gotten tagged? But, point being is that, this, like, it's definitely exactly what you need. SB on the Survivor, unlucky, unable to get a tag, but do you see someone else 5? The Survivors are all, their positions are known. We're getting the pull, the ace has gotten the pull. We're gonna go back. Now, Jums, I don't know if going back is going to be the play here. This Gen 6, it's such high progress, it's going to pop, and that will be the Tycon. And if this chase goes on for a little bit too long, or if he downs the wrong survivor, he's just opting to leave it. I think that's actually the correct play entirely. We cannot be letting this Gen pop if we want to be winning this match, and we're not going to. We're just getting some ruin on it. We're having to go 5 as well to disrupt the Docks Gen, but I mean, there's just such big problems. One of these gens is gonna go. We don't have anything like Eruption or Pop to interrupt it. We're not able to land these skulls with the elevation as well, giving our Adam Shack. This Gen 6 does pop. Tycon Met. 2 stages on the board, Jums. At this point, how do we do it?
You can sort of tell that. Oh no, I don't know if we caught that, but he picked up the wrong color with Mage. No, that is unfortunate. Oh, that hurts. No, I have done that, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, this is much more what it should look like. A Lich verse on this map for sure. I mean, I would agree with, if he wanted to 4K, he could, probably couldn't have committed that chase. But I mean, now that he has committed it, it hasn't really gone too much. But he needed to get somehow, some way, just a double 2-tap over here. Yeah, it just wasn't gonna happen. This Jake, unfortunately for Meister, is just holding chase,
just winning it all, Jumps.
It's not dying, and he goes back around. If he makes this as well, fakes the window. By golly, little FOV. Yeah, I was gonna say settle down. It's not that deep, but nah, little Chief. Again,
lovely stuff.
Pretty expected, bro. I have to admit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, once again, this killer, like I was saying, this killer shouldn't be getting a 4K is unbelievable. Like I said before, unbelievable result. It is truly impressive. So the fact that we've not only did I say 4K2 or 4K? Because I meant to say a 4K in general is massively impressive. Getting a 4K2 is insanity. And once again, a game like this, like what we're seeing in front of you right now, is what you should expect from Lich. Losing the 50 by not playing it at all. A bit of an unfortunate path from our Adam. But yeah, picking up the pallet as we do send away, that is just a little unfortunate from our killer. We've just not read what the Survivor is up to, and he has made main off of that unlucky pick. And now he just has such a strong resource, I would assume. We're probably doubling a gen in the background, maybe even tripling. No, we do see a reset coming. And a wonderful down. I think we hopped in the locker behind. Oh no, he's down. Why did I think he was in the locker, Jams? That is a bit of the awareness from the caster, I must say. But we do hear 2 survivors scream. We do know that there are 2 people on that gen, most likely 5 as we do see the sparks coming off it once again. What are we expecting from this game, Jumps? Oh no, they've not stuck it. This was not even close, but we were We were here to double.
I think at one point or another he should just have a gander go find Ace. I guess this is the problem with bringing Ruin as well. You could tell he wanted to kick Gens here or there, but you know, Ruin also doesn't allow you to do that. Yeah, I mean, we probably should read. Oh, that was really nicely played by the Jake. Master Dylan has had himself a day, lad. He has had himself quite the outing. We need to. If you're Master here, just or Mester, you just need to find the Ace, commit him, get your hooks in, son. You know, send it home. Still a respectable result if you know camp him out, get your hooks, whatever. That's what you know. Oh my goodness me, Dylan getting tapped there on a sense. But yeah, I mean, if you find Ace at this point after this hook right here, that's what 8-4 fresh. It's still a respectable result. Yeah, respectable, and you know you should be happy with that. Although you haven't come out with the win here, it's it's a good result. You know like I said, Teleflame still will make the semis no matter what. This game doesn't really mean anything to them. Awake from Hell go 2-2 now, which is honestly good for them. That might be a bit of a confidence booster going into next season, like you said, Little Chief. But no, overall, it was just really well played. I can't lie, it was just extremely well played. And Metang there just tapped on the hook as well. Sorry, tapped on the pellet.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like you were saying, a potential 8-4 now. I believe this could be what we're chasing this Jake, so that's going to be 6, maybe 8 if we are able to secure the death onto Metang as well. It was currently slugged, which I'm not too sure if that will happen. I'm sure he's about to get picked as I was saying it. Lovely stuff from our survivors. So this could be anywhere between 6 to 8 stages at this point, you know, depending on if we find this Ace, if we find even the Atom, I meant to say, but even if we do find the Ace, you know, potentially getting 9 stages, a very, very good result. We are able to find Gabriel. Definitely not the survivor we want to be chasing, but a very nice tag on with the skulls, and now just another 2-tap. Lovely stuff from our killer. Another stage on the board, potentially playing for more, as we do see the slug come in, looking towards our gate. We do see our Atom. Now, problems. Our Ace is standing still. Our Atom is having to just have a bit of fun on the chase. Unlucky medium, just unable. And our Ace is still standing still. Jumps. Our Ace is... No, the gate is 99. I guess we're waiting to see what could happen. We're just taking the 9-3.
Still a very good result. No, but that will be the win to I believe Awake from Hell versus Teleflame, which is very intriguing. You know, you only could wonder what if, but with that match wrapping up, being our singular match, tomorrow's games will begin at 8:30. Scarlet v Nyx. Little Chief's team actually. What set is it, Little Chief?
Yes, sir. We are playing MM on the Almond Lake Mine. It's gonna be really important, Jones. I'm not too sure if you're aware of our situation, but this match could decide if we come first or potentially even 4th. So definitely something to look out for in the group. Very, very important match for nearly every team involved. And then just right after that, we have a Lamora taking on Ancestor, another blockbuster match that is very important to their group. That match will be deciding who comes second. Actually, Jones, sorry, it will be deciding who comes second. Hella Flame are unable to be knocked off that first place spot based on the tiebreaker, but Lamora or Ancestor still have it all to play for tomorrow with a race set. Very, very curious to see how that one's going to go. And after that, we have a Serial take on Reactor on Friday, which another somewhat important match to the group, to Group A. But it all depends on the Scarlet Nyx result. More on that if it does happen, because it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there.
Well said, Little Chief. And with that being said, thank you for joining us tonight. Like I said, only a BO1. We'll be back tomorrow with the 2 matches, and then Friday we have E3 Reactor 10:30. Thank you for joining us tonight. It has been good. Thank you for casting, Little Chief. I have been Jams, Big Chiefy, Big OSL, Mr. APAC, Mr. OSL. We'll be back tomorrow. Love yous.
Bye-bye.